Be sure to hop on over to the Spiritual Broadcast Network. It's the go-to place for all things spiritual. You'll discover internet television shows that you won't find anywhere else. You can also choose from hundreds of hours of spiritual documentaries and movies. You'll enjoy on-demand and live internet television programming 24/7. Best of all, we add new dramas, comedies, talk, and reality shows and more on a daily basis. So why spend countless hours searching the web when you can quickly find just what you want on the Spiritual Broadcast Network?
Thank you for tuning in to Shift Happens TV. Join us each Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we take you on a metaphysical journey. Be enlightened and entertained as we take you through life, love, and beyond in an inspiring and humorous way. Live your life with no regrets and die laughing.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Shift Happens, where our goal is to entertain, enlighten, and shift consciousness one show at a time. I'm your host, Connie Jordan, and with my husband, Martin Jordan.
Welcome.
We're here to, well, we have a great guest today we're going to have on in just a second, but I am an author and a metaphysical comedian and also a workshop facilitator, right?
Right.
We added that because
Your list was too short.
My list was way too short. And then we have Martin, with the psychic, medium, singer-songwriter, hypnotherapist, past life regressionist, meditation specialist, paranormal overachiever. We'll go with that, right? I know you have ebooks out. You have several music CDs, a lot of meditation CDs, and you'll be able to find all of our stuff on pureheartspace.com.
Yes.
It's pureheartspace.com. Now today, I mean, I don't know, we say this every week, but every week we do. We really have really cool guests.
We do.
And I'm so excited. Today we have a very interesting guest, very interesting how we met, but you're going to give us the lowdown on him.
Yes. Roger is a channeler, and he's from, well, say,
He
from
lives in
here,
London.
lives in London. He's a psychic artist, soul plan reader, and spiritual teacher. And he inspires people to find that place within themselves, to empower themselves, find their own awareness and stuff like that. And he really is one of those people that you need to meet in your life, at some point. You need to sort of have a chat with him, say hello, because he just has that energy about him.
Yeah, we'll
and
talk
I remember,
about that.
how we first met him and stuff like that, picking up of energy. But I'd like to get started. And I'd like to bring Roger on now. Roger, are you there?
Hey, I'm here.
Awesome.
How are you guys?
Hey, did he do your bio justice?
Of course. Yeah.
Like you tell me.
Perfect, except for that bit. No. No, it all sounds good.
Yeah.
Now, I know the first thing that we were going to talk about today was the psychic art that you do. Now, I remember talking to you, and was that kind of like the thing that pulled you in first into this spiritual realm?
Actually, it was, yeah. I mean, I was fully immersed in the corporate world for such a long time, and I just quit one day. I was like, enough is enough, and I really felt like, my health was going to suffer if I stayed within the stressful work environment that I was in at the time. And so I did quit, and I decided, I just knew that I wanted to get into something deeper and explore my life in a deeper way. But art was the thing that did really kind of pull me in, and it opened up my mind to the broader concepts, to a wider awareness of what this life is about, what reality is, and who we are as spiritual beings. Yeah. So, because, the art puts you into this creative mode, and it takes you to another dimension. It really serves as a portal to another dimension. And the creative, or the right side of your brain, is all about the big picture. It's all about everything that's possible. The right side of your brain doesn't know anything about time or space or rules. As far as the right brain is concerned, anything is possible. And when you're in that space, that's when things start to happen. So things that I couldn't believe that were happening.
Right.
So it was. That was the very first entrance for me into this quote-unquote spiritual arena.
See, and that's what Martin is always, whenever we do any of our events, whether it's a gallery reading or whatever we're doing, it's always an opportunity to teach. And he's telling people, like with meditation, if you think you're making it up, you're on the right track, because the imagination really is where all of that magnificence lives. And that's really where our connection to source energy is, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so funny because I do workshops and seminars, and I channel and I teach. And I had a lady at one of my last seminars in New York, actually, and she said, "I just feel like I'm making this up." You know, it's like, well, good. I said, "You're on the right track."
You
and
got
I told her this story, and this is true. There's an actual scientifically based experiment where they had two groups of people, and they taught them how to play the piano, but they taught one half of the group to actually play the piano, where they actually set them in front of a keyboard and said, this finger goes on this key, this finger goes on this key, and this finger goes on this key. And they had electrodes, attached to the head so they could monitor the brain activity, and they could monitor the new connections that were being made in the brain as this group of students were learning how to play the piano. And then the other half of the people, they did not sit in front of a keyboard, but they were shown a picture of a keyboard, and they just had to imagine that their fingers were going on this key and that key and that key and that key. And then they compared the brain activity of both, and exactly the same brain activity was occurring in both of the groups, whether they were actually doing it or whether they were imagining that they were doing it.
Wow.
I think,
yeah.
that's
I took
amazing.
that course once. It was very cheap.
Really?
Hey, sorry, but boom. How do we?
Well, that's what I think because especially you coming out of the corporate world, but a lot of people have that issue of just trusting what they're getting. And once you can get over that, it's just amazing the things that will happen. That's where the real magic is when we learn how to trust the imagination. That's why children, watching children, it's so beautiful because they don't question it. And like we had a conversation, well, now to be a couple of weeks ago, about how the stupid's taught in.
Yeah, well, it's watching Kellyanne, our granddaughter. It doesn't matter. She's trying to climb something. It doesn't matter that it's 3 times the size of her.
I know. It's tough being a grandparent now because she's, almost 18 months old, and she's like, I'm just trying to make sure she doesn't kill herself.
Yeah, she's a
Because she has no fear.
No fear, and everything that she can think, she feels that she can do. And I think we really need to get back to that.
And now I know, because the video that we're going to be showing is 7 minutes, but in my opinion, Roger, I think your best psychic art that you did was in January of this year.
Might be a little bit biased.
I might be a little bit biased, but you know what I think with that was, it was probably one of your most profound pieces, because it just shows the magic of the universe and how, like even with Andrew, he orchestrated everything that happened because he knew I would be whining the week of his 21st birthday. And it was going to be hard for me. And and I'll never forget, I said to him, it's your 21st birthday. It's really hard for me this year. And I want a present from you, and make it big. I want it good. And I just was like, with my hands folded and I just never could have imagined what he brought to me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you discuss how that all came about, why you were doing. I know it's going to be a little bit in the video, but for some it might be harder to read. So I think to hear that would be good.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I am a psychic artist, but what I've found is that there's not a lot of psychic artists out there, actually, and a lot of people don't know what psychic art is.
Mm-hmm.
And I was planning this trip to Florida to do psychic art and to do soul plan readings and to run some seminars. But I felt like there needed to be something that showed people what psychic art was, that I could use as I guess a bit of a promotional tool for me, but also just to explain to people what they could expect if they wanted to come, to have a psychic art session with me. So that was the pure intent. And I was just sitting in my room one day, and I was like, I need to do this. And usually I do this with clients, but I didn't have a client in front of me. So I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to open this up to any being of love and light that wants to come through and work with me. And because, again, my intention was just to have something that people could watch to explain what psychic art was. But clearly, your son had something else in mind and then saw the opportunity and seized the opportunity. And it was a beautiful, beautiful space that I was in, one, because your son is such a beautiful being.
Thank
But
you.
number two, it was so beautiful because there was no pressure there. There wasn't anyone in front of me. It was just this simple place of allowing things to happen. Because as far as I was concerned, there was no right or there was no wrong. I was just bringing through this beautiful being, and I was truly able to let go and allow it to happen. And I think that's really one of the reasons that it was so profound. So, yes, when the being of light came through, and when they came through as a young man who had passed with cancer, that's when I really started to think, this is not. I mean, this is an extraordinary being of light, yes, but this is all. This
He belongs to somebody.
He belongs to somebody in Florida, and so I put the video out on Facebook and started to circulate it amongst prospective clients in Florida, thinking that someone would claim him at some point, but that didn't happen. Not while I was there, anyway.
Right.
And then you and I met, or the three of us met at the Juicy Joy Conference.
In Boca in April.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because your table was right beside ours, but it was Karen Truhan that set it up.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
you were busy teaching your soul planning class, which we'll also talk about. And
Yeah.
so we didn't meet you till really kind of late on Sunday, because you were one of the last speakers, if not the last speaker. And
Yeah.
so we, and I knew you did the spirit art, but, that's all I knew. There was just a little bit flyer on it, nothing to do with anything, but your talk was about soul planning. So, again, didn't know anything about it.
Right.
And
Right.
then I know you were, I don't know if you even saw that we were there promoting our book, the No Regrets with,
No.
our journey with Andrew.
No, I didn't see. I didn't see any of that. I just
See, yeah.
that was such a crazy time, and it was the very end of the conference, and so there were tons of people around, and but I did feel an immediate connection with you guys.
Oh, yeah, we did too. And it's so funny because we didn't know anything about this.
Nope.
And we just felt like there was just this beautiful connection that we had with you. And, well, like, even Martin, you were standing behind Martin, and he's like, who, I remember seeing your face, and you're going, who is behind me? And then he turned around and went, whoa, and then, he sees your beautiful blue eyes, and then I think he immediately had a man crush on you.
I'm not ashamed to admit that. Excuse me.
And I'm just sorry that it was such a short time that we had with you. And
Yeah.
then we just kind of connected on Facebook as soon as, I got home, or, I don't know, we just hooked up on Facebook when each of us
Yeah,
got
we just
home.
made the connection, and then one day, I was sitting in my home, and I just got the urge, the nudge to look you guys up on Facebook, and then you had made a post about Andrew's crossing, and it was his birthday, and wanting a present, and all sorts of things.
By whining like I do.
and then I started to think, oh wow, wait a second.
Uh-oh.
Wait a second. And then I started to think about the picture that I had done. And then my heart started to race. And because I'm not one of these people that kind of, I usually wait for people to approach me as
Right.
opposed to me
Oh, I get
approaching other
that.
people.
Absolutely.
And so I was really, really hesitant to kind of reach out to you guys because I didn't know that it was your son at that point.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't made that sort of intention. And but the Andrew's nudges kept getting stronger and stronger, and I was like, I've got to do this. I really just have to do it. I wasn't going to be at peace or rest until I did. So I sent it out and crossed my fingers and toes.
Now, I think, why don't we show the video now, and then we can continue about our response
Yeah.
when it was sent. So we'll go ahead and play that video now.
How you feeling, Andrew?
Awesome.
How many days has it been?
14 at it?
For this round?
Yeah.
Yeah, many days altogether.
I want to say 2 weeks.
2
Yeah,
weeks.
but it's been about 7 weeks altogether.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and what kind of leukemia do you have?
Healing. He's healing.
What
What-
leukemia? There is no leukemia.
What was it you were diagnosed with?
Leukemia,
Just
I'm
so
not sure
everybody
what
knows.
kind.
Yeah.
AML, okay.
AML.
Which
Okay.
means
We're with Andrew. We're at All Children's Hospital in Tampa, or in St. Pete. And Andrew was diagnosed 8 weeks ago with AML leukemia. And is there anything that you'd like to say, Martin?
I just want to thank everybody for doing this for us. I just have a feeling it's going to spark off some more work that Andrew and I and Connie will be doing as soon as Andrew gets well. But trying to help other people out in similar situations.
So what do you think about everybody that's gotten together for you to benefit?
I think it's amazing. I didn't realize, how much support there would be. I just really appreciate it. It's really helped all of us out a ton.
And we're back. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it was interesting when you IM'd me, Roger.
Unfortunately, Roger has taken the telephone down.
Oh, okay.
It's not at his ear.
Oh,
We should still have him on audio, though.
okay. Do we need to call him again?
Well, he's speaking to us,
Oh,
but without the phone, we don't hear anything.
well, I'm calling him. Hello.
Okay, call him on this other phone.
Okay. I got to call you on the other phone.
In the meantime, we'll be entertained by our Irish friend who's been over
Yeah,
there.
hold on. I'm going to call you right back.
You're out.
Well, after seeing this video, it really sort of gave me the idea that there is life after death, and this was like full proof for me that it actually exists. And we've been trying to get it out there, trying to get a little bit more viral energy on it to try and get people to see it, because it is a wonderful video. And Roger Hanson is a wonderful, wonderful channeler.
Okay.
And it's one of those videos that you really do have to watch. And I think we may have Roger back now. You there, Roger?
I'm here.
Shift happens.
Well, little did I know how well this show was going to be named.
Yeah, and it's like it's about not sort of mentioning that video too many times. It has an energy all of its own.
Exactly.
Well, I remember I came home from the gym that day, Andrew's birthday, and there was an IM from you. And it said, oh, I think you should take a look at this. This might be your son. And I really had no expectations. I figured it wasn't going to be him, and I thought, okay, we'll see what it is. So I looked at it, and I'm looking at it going, okay, yeah, whatever. And then I'm looking at it, and I'm going, wait a minute. And then I was really looking at it as you kept going, and I went, oh my gosh, this is Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
I was stunned, so I yelled from Martin, did you see the video yet? And he's like, no. I said, get in here now. And I made him watch it, and then that's when I IM'd you. I said, yeah, that's our son. Absolutely. Wow. And that's when we Skyped you.
I'm getting chill bumps all over again, just like you know, experiencing it for the first time.
Yeah.
And then it was interesting too because I had asked you if you still had that drawing because it was done, you know, in January, and you weren't sure if you could find it.
Yeah, because I had moved home in the meantime.
Yeah, and you found it no problem.
I did. It was there, just waiting to be mailed. Yeah.
And now it hangs over Andrew's bed.
Oh.
Yeah, we framed it, and it's an interesting, very, very interesting piece because it does have its own energy.
Yeah.
And you can feel it, you know, every time you go to it. It's different. But one of my things from watching you doing the video on doing the drawing was that the thing for me was the eyes. You spent a lot of time around the eyes, and they actually looked blue by the time you were finished with it.
Yeah, and every time I look at that video, it's still, his eyes look blue to me, and I know you didn't use color.
No, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's kind of, for me, it's almost as if looking at that video and going, yeah, this is one of those videos that are actually proof that there's something going on.
You know, as you know, Roger, we all know that. We know there's more than just here. And, you know, Martin has seen Andrew, but when you have outside validation like that and a connection that somebody else has in another country at a point where we didn't even know each other, you know, it really solidifies what you already know.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just bends all concept of time and space, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does. And you know what I find interesting? I didn't realize how you do this because, you know, and you say that you're not a trained artist. That's not it. And I love how, you know, you just say you trust what's coming through. But you said that, like, you'll see, you're just like tracing on the paper, correct? That you just start to see images.
Hey, that's cheating. It's like painting by numbers, man. Come on.
But, you know, he'll ask who...
I put a layer of pastels across the paper, and then I wait for images to jump out to me. It's kind of almost like if you've ever seen like the Shroud of Turin, where you just see kind of like the hints of an outline of eyes and nose and the mouth. That's how it starts to
You
jump
mean that
out
big
to me.
picture of Leonardo da Vinci?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, but that's another show.
Really, dude?
Sorry. You know, he set me up. What can I say?
That's how it happens for me. And so, yeah, I couldn't. Most of the things that I, well, in fact, all of the things that I draw, I could not draw if I just sat down and tried to. Yeah, I'm actually now trying to develop that art a little bit differently.
Yeah. But I think the way you do it is fine. I mean, it really does. It's very easy to look at, you know. It does, and it's a nice centerpiece in our room, you know, in Andrew's room. It looks really, really well.
Well, and not to mention, I mean, you get the point across.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, because, you know.
And we have some more shift going on.
Some more shift going on. Some more audio stuff going on.
Yay.
And we lost him again.
Yes, we lost him again.
Okay, well, we're going to be bringing him back.
Yes.
We just hit a redial.
We'll be bringing Roger back in a few moments, and thank you for staying with us so far. But the energy on this particular show is, we knew it was going to be phenomenal anyway. And now the video is in this episode, but it's also on the internet, on YouTube, the video itself. It's kind of, it's all out there. And what we're asking is if we get a chance just to kind of forward it, share it when you come across it, and let people make their own minds up, you know, about this video. Now, I want to sort of drop some information about us while we're waiting on getting Roger back. Our main website is pureheartspace.com, pureheart.com, and the video, our archives and stuff, you can go to sbnvideo.tv, sbnvideo.tv.
sbnvideo.tv.
Yeah, and click on the hosts and you'll see our name in there. And if you click there and go to the archives, you'll see all of our shows. Or hit us up on Facebook at facebook.com/shifts. I know I said the wrong word there, or said the right word, whatever way you want to look at it. Shift Happens TV on Facebook. Give us a like on there and drop us a line what you'd like to see in some shows coming up. And there you have it.
And
Welcome back, Roger.
Third time's the charm, right?
That's right.
You're letting the trained monkey here do the talking.
Next time you handle the technical stuff and I'll keep going.
I was wondering why it was going down that way. I was like, it's okay. I'm the techie, you know? Okay. It's kind of funny watching Connie do this stuff, and I go, ooh, role reversal.
I don't like it either. Does not work for me. Now, I know you do the psychic art, and then now, like what we were talking about in Boca, what is soul planning?
Soul plan reading it's all based on the vibration of the birth name. And it's a channeled system of being able to analyze the path of one's soul in this present incarnation. So, I mean, if you go back and look at any of the world's religious systems, philosophical systems, there's almost always some sort of creation story based on the concept of sound. And so it is with this. So it's my belief that, you know, when you're part of the collective whole and you decide that it's time to experience life as a human being in an incarnation within a time and a space, that you literally speak yourself into existence, and the name, the vibration, the resonance of the birth name is what allows apparent reality to form around you. So it sounds crazy.
It sounds fascinating
to me.
It
sounds absolutely crazy, and I thought it was crazy at first, I promise you, and I really approached this with a lot of skepticism.
I think it's fascinating.
But I had my soul plan done, and it was spot on. But then I was kind of like, well, you know, am I just wanting it to be that way? So I tried it with several different people, and time again, it was always spot on. And I've done probably 1,000 or more now.
Wow.
And they are incredibly accurate, but more importantly than that, they are incredibly helpful to people. And what the soul plan looks at, it looks at a major life challenge for the first half of your life, a talent and a goal, and then it repeats it for the second part of your life. So challenges, talents, and goals, and then it looks at a soul destiny. I mean, I think that we're all here for exactly the same reason, which is simply to experience. Just to experience life, to experience this life of duality.
Right.
But I do also think that we come into this life wanting to experience certain things in certain ways. And that's really what the soul plan reading kind of delves into. And as a channeler, I mean, I channel when I do the psychic art as well, but I channel through this soul plan reading process as well. And I'm able to look at the challenges, look at the talents, look at the goals in a way that's helpful to the person. So for some people, it's about reconciling the past. For other people, it's about kind of confirming talents that they've not really had the courage to accept. Or for others, it's about kind of pointing a potential way forward. They feel like they're at a crossroads and they're not sure which way to go. And so this brings some additional insight to them as they make those decisions.
It sounds to me like it's almost a way of helping people remember why they came here, you know?
Yeah.
Like, why, you know, perhaps why did I sign up for this? I know I've asked myself that question. What was I thinking?
Yes.
And I mean, we've gotten some answers on that. But, you know, on a human level, you're like, pimp slapping myself when I get back.
Right.
But
and the other part that's really, really powerful about this is to understand the interplay of other people's soul plans into your own soul plan as well.
Right.
For instance, if someone needed or they wanted to experience what it's like to have a domineering parent figure in their life, you know, and that's caused them tremendous grief or pain in this incarnation, but by looking at the soul plan, they realize that's part of their soul journey. That's one of their major life lessons. Then they think, well, okay, in order for me to learn that lesson, someone had to play the role of the domineering parent, and tremendous healing comes into play there, where the kind of the penny drops, the realization sinks in. We're all actors in this big play.
That's exactly what it is. And, you know, like I tell people, you know, when
Yeah,
they...
but it's directed by Python so far, you know. It's kind of, where's Chris Columbus when you need him?
Well, you know what I have found is with the passing of Andrew, what has helped, I think, both of Martin and I, you know, because a lot of people say, well, you know, how could God do this? And it's like, quit blaming an outside source. This is something the three of us agreed to. And knowing that we agreed to this and that Andrew was going to, you know, prior to incarnating, he was going to go through this journey, and we agreed to go through it with him. You know, there is some peace in that you know, you have to kind of take responsibility for and realize this is something, it's a journey. You know, even as human, we still have questions about what it's all about, and, you know, what more can we, you know, let's hurry up and find out what it's really all about.
Yeah, but I approach this work with a healthy amount of skepticism, the work that I do all the time.
Well, you were a research chemist, and like, you know, Roger, coming from the corporate background, that's what's really great, is that you've had that. So you can be very analytical.
You can lose yourself in it, though, just believing stuff for no reason.
That's what helps keeps the grounding, though, is because of your, you know, both of your backgrounds.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think the soul plan is similar something to the work that I do as well. When you finally put it in front of the client, that this is what you see, 90% of them have known it all along, or they've felt something about it, and they just weren't validated. And a lot of times, I think the greatest healing I get with clients is if I can validate what they're feeling and validate what they've known all along.
Sure.
Know?
Yeah.
And it's that outside source, that third party, you know.
That you're not crazy.
Yeah, that you're not crazy, yeah.
Now I know you were teaching soul planning, but now you're going to be trying it online.
Yeah, it's, I really want to, I want to teach as many people as I can, because, again, my work is about empowering people. I don't want to be the only soul plan reader on the face of this earth and just kind of have everyone come to me. Because I believe in its ability to really help people, and I do believe it empowers people. And so I want to teach other people to do it. So I've been doing that in in-person classes for over a year now. But in order to reach a wider audience, I'm teaching it online. So I've got the first ever international online soul plan basic practitioner course coming up in October. So October the 20th, the 21st, and the 27th. So that's a Saturday and a Sunday of one weekend, and then the Saturday of
International It's All Good month.
What's that?
It's International It's All Good month.
Because October 22nd is Andrew's 5th anniversary.
Yeah.
Whereas the fifth, as I call it, the 5th annual International It's All Good Day, which we do have a Facebook page for that specifically.
And it's the birth month also of another great avatar.
Oh, yeah. You?
Hey, I love myself, right? I've been sitting looking at a monitor of myself all day. It's great. No, seriously. It's a very powerful month. It's also All Hallows Eve. It's a powerful month for spiritual energy. You know, it's a month, you know, and that is a great month for you to be doing that. Good. And probably not purposely, but, you know, drawn to doing it in that month. And sometimes we look at it and go, what was the only time I could do it? It's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know, it's like,
that's right.
You know, it comes in that way. I'd really love to take a look at that, because we'd like to sort of help you promote that in our newsletter and stuff.
Fantastic. And and for people that are out there kind of doing their own thing now, it really is able to kind of serve as a compliment, especially for people that are kind of working in the healing arts and things of that nature.
Oh, we've come across a couple of people that you've actually trained, actually.
Oh,
So,
good.
There's been people at our shows on the East Coast of Florida that I thought was at one of our other shows, but
yeah, it's weird because
us.
I was doing a reading for a lady, and this soul planning, I was describing soul planning to her in the reading. I didn't know what I was describing, and that's what she called it. And I said, "Oh, I know somebody who does that," and then it turned out that she was trained by you.
So does she.
Oh my gosh.
So it's kind of cool. I mean, it's a small world, you know, and that's why we're all interconnected.
Well, so the young man that showed up at our show, he found me on Facebook, and I thought he was at one of our shows, but in fact, he was at your soul planning, I believe, or maybe the psychic art when you were here. And then when he saw the video, I don't know, somehow he found me on Facebook, and he showed up at our last event in Hollywood.
And that's why it works, to help each other out, you know, because there's enough out there for everybody. Yeah. You know, and it's just how it works. So it'd be interesting in sort of checking that out, seeing that soul planning stuff. Just like looking at it going, I could do that as well.
Because that's why I said the paranormal overachiever.
Soul planning medium.
Now, well, when we were on we have a small UK tour, mini UK tour coming up, and so the first thing we thought of, Roger's in London.
Yeah.
We were going to be in Milton Keynes doing a mediumship. You're going to be doing gallery readings.
Yes.
And then also a past life regression.
Yeah.
So I was very excited that you were open to doing something with us.
I'm so excited about that.
So do you feel more comfortable because we're like, oh, great, listen, because Martin and I are always, there's never been a box for us. We don't even know what that means. And so I was like, how about if you start drawing whoever's coming through and Martin's doing readings? I'm like, you drew fast in Andrew's video. Just draw that fast.
Time lapse, baby.
You know what? I mean, yeah, we're going to have such a good time. And I know that we're going to work well together. And it's just going to be fun.
Yeah, but if somebody says to me, hey, it feels like it's coming together, that's when I start getting worried. You know, it's like the whole planning thing. It's like, let's show up and let's do something. You know, let's be spontaneous.
And, you know, and we are. We're open, and I think between the three of us, you know, it'll work out.
Oh, absolutely.
And I love the fact, too, that you're going to be ending up doing like a past life regression with the group the second hour, and then Roger's going to draw a guide to come through that's going to give
that should be interesting.
And then you're going to channel the message.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And yeah, I mean, I just have a feeling. We'll see. But I have a feeling that it will be the energy of someone's actual past life that they've regressed to.
Yeah.
And then I'll be connecting with that energy and speaking for them. So yeah,
it's almost like a spiritual raffle. Whoever wins the past life regression, you know. We're going to take a poll on it. Who's going to come through? Who's it going to be? You know.
I just think, and that's what because there's more people going out there doing this work, and I think if you can shake it up and do things that people haven't done before, you know, it kind of keeps it very interesting, and that's why we do have to work together, because we each have a piece of this puzzle, and working together, you know, you bring more people together.
But here's the deal. If you can entertain somebody, they'll come back for more, and they're more likely to listen, because a lot of people out there, they don't really want to be healed. They don't want to be trained. They don't know what that's all about. But if you entertain them, then you can introduce those new concepts to them through the entertainment factor.
Well,
that's what we do.
Well, yeah. I mean, and if people are having a good time and they're laughing, then they're just naturally opening up to all of that anyway.
Mm-hmm. And then you can slip into teaching. It's all good. It's all good.
Which is part of the reason why I'm there. Although I think you kind of steal my thunder with the comic relief.
You both make a really good team.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, is it like this all the time with you guys?
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
Even when we're on our home alone, we're like this.
I mean, that's the sense I get. But
yeah, we're like this at home, and I'm thinking you would think we were in front of an audience when it's just the two of us at home, because there's things that go on with us since Andrew's left. Our memory's not as shot. Him and I will be having a conversation, and then we realize we're not even having the same conversation. And then we both look at Andrew going, dude, seriously, you know we cannot be home alone. We need adult supervision.
Yes.
And he was the adult.
But at least we laugh about it rather than getting really upset about it, because the bottom line is if we get too senile, we get to ascend, which is pretty good. So I always say, as long as I can pull the trigger,
we're good to go. As long as I know how to put a hose and an exhaust in the window, we're good.
Yeah, but you can always hire people to do that. You know?
True.
Just don't tell them what it's for.
They get something really stupid.
But yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Now,
funny.
between those two, is there other things that you do as well? You have the soul planning and the psychic art. Now, I know you've done, like Martin, we were discussing this earlier, the music, but you still have that music up, and you have that up with colors and stuff, don't you?
I do, yeah. I create modern mandalas as well, and I'm a singer and I play the piano, and so I did create an album in 2010, which is still up, and I think it's a great album. It's kind of constructed to be a 14-day journey of awareness for people. So there's 14 songs, and then I've created 14 modern mandalas. And for anyone that's listening that doesn't know what a mandala is, the actual literal meaning of mandala is container for essence. And so let's say I created a song with the intention of unconditional love. I then created a container through the form of art for unconditional love. So when people go through the album, they're listening to unconditional love come to them, and they're watching unconditional love come to them through the picture. So that's available on my website for digital downloads, or people can buy physical copies of the CD as well.
Cool.
Yeah, and
That sounds really cool.
and then other things that I mean, yeah, I do lots of things, but I'm really trying to focus that down. So
Yeah, that's a
I
good
am
Martin.
focusing on the psychic art, the soul plan reading, and I'll always have the music there. And then I'm really moving into this channeling space. What I mean by this channeling space, whereas before the art has served as a means for me to connect and channel bits and pieces of information, I'm now connecting, like I'm going to do at our show, connecting with guides from the past or the future even,
Yeah, absolutely.
bringing through their image, but then going into a full channel and just speaking from the heart, based
can't
on my
wait to see
connection to that energy. And so I really, in fact, I know that within the next couple of months I'll be doing at least monthly broadcasts of that, so people can tune in and
Very cool.
participate in that. Yeah.
To make a nice addition to our newsletter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sending it out every month. Yeah.
Great.
Sign me up.
Yeah, promote the heck out of each other. It's all good. It's all
Yes.
good. Yeah.
And then you also, because you were in New York recently,
Yeah.
and because Story Waters, he does the channeling as well.
Yep. Story is one of the most profound channels that I've ever had the privilege of encountering. He speaks from such a clear place, and even long before I met him, and before I knew who he was, and when I just quit the corporate job, I stumbled, quote unquote, stumbled across one of his videos on YouTube, and I was like, wow. And you know when someone speaks,
Yeah.
and you're just like, that's true, that's
Yes.
true, that's true, and you realize how seldom you hear pure truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until years later that we connected, and so we decided to do a seminar together because our work complements each other. And when someone comes for a full weekend of channeling, it's kind of a challenge sometimes to just listen to one person and to experience channeling in one way. So we thought, let's try this, and it worked out really, really well. So
Excellent.
we kind of went back and forth where he just kind of sits down, sometimes he closes his eyes, sometimes he doesn't, but connects, and then he'll speak for the next hour to an hour and a half of channeling, and then I would connect through art.
Nice.
So yeah, more of that too.
Yeah, it's exciting for Martin and I to see people out there doing interesting things that is outside even the metaphysical box. It's not even mainstream metaphysics.
Right, yeah.
Right.
And that's, there's just such great new information.
Stretching the rubber band, man. Just keep stretching that rubber band.
Absolutely. Now, we only have a few minutes left, so I want to make sure that we get all our information in there.
Right.
Because where's the best place? Is yours RogerHansonLove.com?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Awesome.
And that's where they can get your newsletter and find out where you're going to be, and then the information on the soul planning and the psychic art and all that, right?
The classes, yeah,
Excellent.
they can see videos, current videos, and get alerts for future videos. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Excellent.
And our website to find out where we're going to be is pureheartspace.com, right? And then that's the connection for the book and your CD and the
Yes.
music on Reverb.
Yep.
You can get everything on pureheartspace.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we have the newsletter as well.
Yes.
Next week, we're going to have Dean Joe Hanson on, and we actually are going to have somebody
Ooh,
in
I
the
can't
studio,
wait.
Roger.
Oh, wow.
I know.
I can't wait. Dean is awesome. He's an awesome, phenomenal singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
And he's extremely old soul.
Yeah, he's...
Very old world.
And he just got signed, so he's putting together his CD, and,
Yeah.
and so that's going to be a real fun musical.
He gets signed by a local company, WHOA, W-H-O-A Records.
Okay.
Guy by the name of Train.
Yeah, so we're going to have him on.
Yeah.
I don't know, Martin, do you want to do just a quick breathing technique just for all of us
Just to wind down?
Just to wind down?
Okay.
Because we did this in the first two shows, and I forgot to
Okay.
with Karen's show.
Well, what I'd like everybody to do is just sort of sit relaxed. And I'm going to teach you some circular breathing. And I want you to sort of breathe in through your nose. Feel that breath going all the way down your body. Hold it for a few moments. And as you breathe out through your mouth, feel all of that stress and all of that tension coming out. Take a second deep breath now. breathing in through your nose. Hold it for a few moments. And as you breathe out this time, I want you to think of something that you want in your life right now. Take a third deep breath, breathing in through your nose and thinking of that thing that you want in your life. And as you hold your breath and breathe out, I want you to slowly see that becoming a reality. And I want you to get the feeling that this is possible, this is entirely possible, and this is in your life right now. Okay, just let that sit with you, shake it out.
And Roger, thank you so much for being on our show
God.
and for the video.
Thank
I mean,
you.
I can never thank you enough for that, being open to letting my son come through.
Let's get it viral.
It's something that I'll, the rest of my life, it was one of the biggest days of my life. It's in there, in the top.
He's such a beautiful, beautiful being, and I feel privileged and honored and just very special to have been able to connect with him in that way. And such a testament to the amazing parents that you are.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Brought him into this world and allowed him to be who he is. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And we'll see you in November
Absolutely.
23rd.
Can't
I'll spend
wait.
the weekend with you. And as we end the show, we say, remember, live your life with no regrets.
And die laughing.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Be sure to hop on over to the Spiritual Broadcast Network. It's the go-to place for all things spiritual. You'll discover internet television shows that you won't find anywhere else. You can also choose from hundreds of hours of spiritual documentaries and movies. You'll enjoy on-demand and live internet television programming 24/7. Best of all, we add new dramas, comedies, talk, and reality shows and more on a daily basis. So why spend countless hours searching the web when you can quickly find just what you want on the Spiritual Broadcast Network?